Gotta kick him out. There you go. All right. Coming live, episode 35. I got my co-host tonight, Shawn Mayo. And it's crazy to think 35 weeks, except for one, we've been doing this. We get some people in here. As you know, we got the new software. So no matter where you're logging in at, you can comment and everybody can see it. Taylor the Hair will put up a link. If you're logging in through Facebook the first time, you can click the link so it'll display your name. We're going to do what we normally do, just chit chat for a little bit as the count goes up. Tonight, a few things we're going to go over tonight. One, right now, if you could hit that like button and share this out wherever you're watching it on, share it out on social media so we can get plenty of people in. There's going to be some giveaways tonight like usual, and then Mechman actually started up a new Facebook group, so there's going to be a giveaway in there, which we'll go over. We have UC31 B stocks left that Excess Power has donated to give away tonight. Definitely two, depending on how crazy it gets in your night, maybe more. So we'll see what happens there. Wait for a few more people to get in. We're also going to talk about tonight, besides new things with Mechman, a new bracket they have. We're going to go over the talk about this XMA X90 from Excess Power, this huge 90 amp. You can see in the background there from Shawn. What's the weather like up there, Shawn? Is it? I had to put a sweatshirt on because it dropped below 50 here.
I was looking. I noticed the blue. I was like, "Where'd the blue come from?"
Actually, it's purple.
Looks blue in the picture.
I have purple and pink. The girls like it, but I think the purple actually looks pretty good. All right, we got Budget J. What's up, Jeff and Shawn? My AGMs can't handle power anymore. Well, the UC31 is a great add-on. It's probably the cheapest add-on that makes a huge difference.
Yes.
We got Juan in here. What's up? Straight clipping. Did I say that right? I always screw that up. Who else we got in here? Let me click my. There we go. All right, let's start from the top because there's a bunch of people in here. Holy cow. All right, going down the list before we start. Jesse James in the house. Mike A in the house. George Perez. Dickerson Audio Designs. What's up? I see a lot of new names in here. Joshua Clare. Angela Corner. Layden Parrott. George Perez. Already said you. King Macho. Mr. Dusty is in here. Daniel Clark. Straight Clippin'. Brandon Arrowood. Oh, we got a bunch of people here tonight. This is great. I see a lot of new names. Okay, so I'll start from the get-go. This is episode 35. That means we've done 35 episodes. We've only taken off 1 week during Christmas. Tonight, first thing, hit that like button right now. That helps us out with the algorithms. When we're done, you can leave a comment. The live will be up, and then we always post the actual video of this up the next day. And subscribe if you're new here. I don't care if you're on P. Shizzle's in the house. I don't care if you're on Facebook. Go ahead and follow us. And if you're tuning in first time on one of our YouTubes, make sure you subscribe. Okay, tonight we're going to have on my co-host, Shawn Mayo here, and we're going to be interviewing Tony from Mechman, which has got some new stuff. Want to bring up, we just started in our new facility doing some unboxings. I have to get to the testing. We're still working out some bugs, but if you haven't seen that, check it out. We did audio pipe, eye candy, and an amplifier. Yep. Really cool how deep we went in there. We even broke down the innards of the amp, which is really cool. Okay. Another thing to talk about. Parker the Basshead made a total crazy change 2 videos ago. Can we hit the skit real quick?
The biggest 18 sub.
Yo, hold up. Got new stuff Big Jeff for you to review on your channel.
What? Yo, I'm in the middle of a video.
No, man, you gotta get yourself a review on this thing while it's popping.
Oh, okay, all right. We'll do it. Stay tuned to see the biggest 18 sub ever next time.
Here you go.
Okay, this is pretty cool. What did you say this was?
This is the Black Diamond Audio DIA R12 series subwoofer. Of course, dual 4-ohm.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, let's check this guy out. Yo, and as always, tell Big Jeff thank you for dropping off some new stuff to review on the channel.
You have fun with that, man. See what she can take, see what she can do. I gotta run back to old Florida to help out Mr. Big Jeff grab you something else. Y'all, if you want to see me again on this here channel with another cool sub, this video better get at least 1,000 likes. If it does, I'll be back.
Okay, guys, he's kind of a character, but hey, as long as he's bringing me subs to review, I guess I ain't gonna be too.
All right. I hope y'all could hear it because I couldn't hear it in here. But we actually did some testing. I'll call it testing, but on the grills. It was kind of crazy. We went to Get Down, eastbound Get Down, and people were already asking for the grills. And we only got a bunch over to kind of see what they are, how much they are, whatever. But we do have batches of 8 teeth and 6 teeth, basically big mouth and small mouth. And we will be incorporating that into the upgrade of the Hater Starter Kit. This will be the Haterade Kit. So that will be coming soon. They're actually in transit from overseas, and we'll keep you updated there. Parker hit it off big time with the whole new skit. I think he got some of the best results he's gotten out of videos in a long time. I think it's hilarious. I love seeing him. He was actually doing a test on a Black Diamond R12. Okay. We've been talking. We got a bunch of people in here. Make sure you share, like, and all that. And we're going to start to get with Tony from Mechman. We got a lot of stuff to go over. We're going to be talking to Shawn tonight. Like usual, we're giving away tonight UC31s. We're going to go over that shortly. And Tony is going to be giving away a new product they have. So stay tuned. Hey, Ben, let's get this thing started. Kick it off.
Let's go. It's the Big Sound Podcast. Welcome back. Got one hell of a cast to keep it action-packed. Big Ben on the scene, yeah, and Taylor the hair. Allie the queen and Big Jeff in the chair. Got audio legends coming on the show. If you need some advice, then you'll be good to go. Got the usual suspects at the chats. And Deviant for life, straight rapping facts. Big Jeff coming through like he's Santa Claus, cause he be giving stuff away, yeah, he's the boss. And hit the website no matter what your budget's. Year, make, and model, we will tell you what fits. And hair tricks, get them for just $1. Cop a Big Jeff shirt and pop your collar. We bout to take off like a convertible drop top. Haters sneaking in, they get hit with that bot shot. Before we set it off, you gotta do something. Grab your chain, your shades, and your pinky ring. Now we ready to go, yeah, it's time to begin. You know it's Big Jeff Audio for the win. Team Big Jeff, y'all can start the show. Let's go.
3, 2, 1, go!
Thank you, everybody. We have Tony from Mechman here. What's up, Tony? It looks like some movie horror thing going on right now.
Well, I got home not too long ago from work, and I was test fitting a belt for that triple kit, and I was just like, I just go ahead and chill out of here in the truck, and let the guys see what I get to see when I go into work every day and come back from work every day.
I got to give a big shout out to Deviant. Deviant, we need to work on a new intro, being that Christmas is over. So I'm open to your ideas for a new intro for the podcast. We talked about it a little before. Tonight, we have Tony on. I'm being co-hosted by Shawn Mayo. We're going to be giving away some UC31s. We're going to be talking about a new product from Mechman. You have a chance to give that away. Let's start off first because I know everybody loves the giveaways. We're first UC31 B stock. I say B stock. They are completely new inside. Some of them have defects on the outside, but they are an incredible add-on. If you want to win one, I need you to comment the word Mechman. That's MECHMAN. You can do that one time, and we'll pick a winner shortly. Also, tonight, we finally released the BJ22, the Big Jeff battery. We had a giveaway for that. We're going to be announcing the winner tonight for that. So that's going to be huge. And a few other things. We're going to have a good night tonight. Tony, you got something new that we're going to talk about a little bit too, right? And also at the bottom of your screen, Ben, you want to flip the new Facebook page for Mechman. If you all want to later get in a new group, what is the handle on it? It's facebook.com/here comes. Team Mechman, real easy. You all want to check that out, and we're going to talk about a new product that you, by adding yourself, inviting yourself in there, and then commenting, just do Big Jeff Podcast. He'll know. We'll enter you in to win a product we're about to talk about tonight. So 2 things. Make sure you comment right now. Mechman, Shawn from Excess Power was very nice enough to donate some UC31s for tonight. And once we show you the new product from Tony, you have a chance to win by going in the brand new group. Not going to be a bunch of crap in there. You won't get banded for the bad comment or something wrong. It's going to be an open group. And just go in there once you get approved. Just comment Big Jeff Podcast, and I will enter you to win something that you're going to see real soon. Let's do a short video break. We call it Let's Meet Tony, and then we'll be back with Shawn Mayo and Tony from Mechman.
What sets Mechman apart from our competition? Our history. Mechman Alternator.
Are you going to play that video again?
Okay, we'll play something different.
Ready, set, go.
Let's meet Tony Bolton from Mechman Alternators.
Hey guys, it's Tony here at Mechman Alternators again. Think logically on this.
When you have a doubt, ask Tony. He knows a lot.
If the alternator can be sitting on the floor or in the box, and there's no alternator at all on the car will start. It may not run very well, or maybe there's some computer thing that tells it, but it will crank. But if you get in your vehicle after installing our alternator and you turn the key and it doesn't do anything, or it doesn't actually turn over, you did something wrong.
Okay, that's enough. Let's meet the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Tony Bolton himself.
That's hilarious, man. I'll tell you what, I met Tony.
Oh my God.
And
that was epic.
In a lot of these videos, Tony and Shawn, I don't even get to see him till the night. And I kind of want that just to be surprised like everybody else. So big shout out to Ben Jammin, Taylor the Hair, and Allie for putting the time in each week to get this stuff ready. So let's just jump to it first, because I what is the new product? Can we put it up on the screen and let you explain it?
Well, the major new product, the one that'll probably be available to buy on the website first, is going to be the alternator bracket that's actually on this truck. It's the that's the dual. That's the dual I'm going to give away. The one you want is the triple.
Jump there. If you go ahead and sign up on the new Mechman Facebook group and then comment Big Jeff Podcast, you will be entered in to win a dual bracket. Okay. That bracket fits what, Tony?
That right there is going to be that's just the bare bracket by itself. So it will fit your 1999 to 2013 Chevy Tahoe Suburban, Avalanche, Denali, basically your 99 to 2013 LS based V8 engines.
Okay, so even if you don't need the bracket, you still need to go sign up, be a part of a new group that has no red tape or politics in it. But the new one, do we have a picture? Did you guys get a picture of the three-way?
If you don't, it's real quick. It's on the website. It's just you can't purchase it yet. It's just kind of up there as a teaser.
Okay, Ben, go ahead and try to grab that down from Mechman's site where we're talking. So what is involved in this bracket?
Okay, so I'm a visual part. We have lots of R&D people, technical people, and whatnot behind the scenes behind me, but I'm the one I like to see what's going on. I like to see something fail, and then I like to be able to improve it, make it better, and do it how it should be done, like from the factory. There's a lot of products out there that will work, and they work fine for a budget. They work fine for if you just need to get something going. But I come from a background of about 20 years of Honda. So the level of precision you have to have.
You don't look like a Honda guy. You just don't look like a Honda guy.
And
Shawn
absolutely
possibly
not.
can look like a Honda guy, but I just look at you as like a truck or Jeep guy. There you go. There it is. Oh,
there we go.
Okay.
And that's exactly right. I do. I have a big redneck rock crawler Jeep with a V8. I've got a big block Cuda, a road race Mustang, a street race Mustang. I mean, I'm that guy. I'm that guy. But I also have the mindset of doing things correctly and reliably. That's my thing. My Jeep does not get towed out of the woods. I'll put it that way.
So I think it's a good mix tonight having Shawn on here and you, because it goes hand in hand, batteries and alternators, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So Shawn, we could put as much excess power in a vehicle, but we still have to charge it. And especially with all the lithium and even all the AGMs, you got to have the correct amperage to charge that back up for normal use, competition, or what. So it's a really good combination. That's what I've used in my vehicles. Where I got a slideshow on the side has the new brackets. Hold on, I'm going to pull this up. Okay, so if you want to break this down,
that's it. That's my.
So this is a plug and play, or is there some work to be done?
Nah, that's another one there. Not that one. That's next.
We're gonna go back. Okay.
It is. I'll go ahead and proper belt wrap on every single alternator. A lot of those that you'll see, that middle alternator will have a discolored pulley, or you'll see a lot of belt dust on that particular one. And the reason that is because it all comes down to a bunch of geeky technical belt wrap, angle and force and all that good stuff that nobody would read if I ever wrote it down. So
I want to jump to a question that we get all the time, and it's not even on here, but it's always in my head. Everybody thinks the bigger the amperage, the better when it comes to an alternator, but that's not really true. So can you explain that a little bit more in depth?
Okay. Say you have a, let's just, I hate to be like that, but we'll do the old GM truck thing, since it seems like everybody and the brother has one. You can't overdo an alternator, so it doesn't really matter. Like if you have a plow truck, we do a lot of that in the winter. November, December, January, we get a lot of calls. I mean, hell, I sell dual bracket kits to these snowplow drivers. They take that crap seriously, and we'll put two 250s on there, and they've got 400 amps at idle, so they don't need a 400 amp alternator. They need 400 amps at idle. They don't need it while they're at cruising speed. So, I mean, one of these guys, he actually sent me a picture where it bent the bumper and the attachments where the plow's mounted because it had so much force.
Wow. Shawn, you run alternators, right, in your competition builds? So do you find a lower, like a 300 or 320, or are you going after a higher amperage in that type of competition?
So most of my vehicles run, and I talked to Tony a couple weeks ago about this. I bought a regulator from him. Basically, I run a 240, which I like for the size because I get a good idle amperage out of it, and I don't have to rev up any to still get that performance, and I don't get a lot of pulley drag, whereas what my experience is not obviously what Tony can tell you, but I get a lot more squeal and scream out of a 370 or something like that. A 240 is just almost like, to me, it doesn't feel much different than my stock from when I put the belts on. When nothing squeals crazy, nothing bogs down. I get good amperage at idle. Yep. Just great overall performing alternator.
Yeah.
So, and that's where you'll have to think, are you building the build for a car show type competition where you're going to be at idle, or are you doing something for normal driving around? There's a big difference. And then I learned that with the actual pulley size, which creates the revolution. So Mechman actually normally will ask customers right away what they're trying to do so they can give them the proper pulley instead of other companies that just sell stuff to them without even asking. Tony, do you give Mechman tours? That's a good question.
Yeah, you just fly to China where we are, obviously, and then we're right there. No, you can walk into Knoxville, Tennessee, and visit us anytime you want to. If you want to buy your alternator online,
I didn't even think about that. There's so many companies, you think everything's coming out of Miami or California, but there's a lot in that area for manufacturers. That's pretty crazy for sure. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you can come in, drop by, walk around, look at stuff. I'll show you some stuff I haven't posted on the Mechman Facebook page, and they'll grab a decal and high five and do whatever you need to do.
We got somebody here, straight clipping. Do you make a bracket for an Astro van? That actually used to be a popular vehicle years ago for.
Yeah, I don't. The Astro van, it's most likely the old school, like the 350 Chevy. I think the 4.3s in those Astros are basically a 350 Chevy with the back 2 cylinders cut off. So we don't have anything for the old school Chevy stuff. It's basically just the 99 up LS engine platform that gets all the love and attention. So
now, if Mechman doesn't have an application, are they able to send you an alternator to basically rebuild, or that's not an option?
No, okay. we don't do that. Generally, it's because some alternator, the cases we use, everything we use is a Nip and Denso based stator, rotor, housing, and whatnot. So what you'll run into is
what was it? A methane basal? What was that called again? A methane basal? Did you say?
Maybe I didn't say that.
I swear that's what I heard. My headphones are screwing with me.
I must be
Start
in the
over.
Podcast.
Yeah. What is he talking about?
So if somebody wants to send us their alternator, we just don't do that, because 9 times out of 10 it's going to be maybe like some Hitachi brand or some weird fitment where we basically do 2 different kinds of alternators: 128 millimeter small case and a 138 millimeter large case. And once you get away from that, then you start running into honing out the housings of different brands, and you start weakening the case, and it just gets into one of those, like, do we want to sell this one alternator that we've put all the labor into and hoped it worked because we haven't done any R&D on it, or do we want to sell 15 GM Chevy Tahoe alternators in about 10 minutes? So
gotcha. So next go ahead, Shawn.
And something we deal with too, and this is why it's so important that, Tony and I are obviously in the same electrical category when it comes to subsections for shopping and online stores, stuff like that, is because our products are married together in a lot of ways. Like when somebody calls us and they say, I'm running a Power S5 and I want to know how much wattage I can handle, I have this alternator I bought off eBay. It says it's a 320, and we both know it's not a 320 because it was 125 bucks. And that conversation's important because with if I know, like, for example, they say, oh, I bought a Mechman 240. I know, for example, that it's truly going to do the amperage that it says if installed correctly with the correct wiring. If installed correctly. So it's important, even on that end, for our batteries to get a good feed in. And also, I've got to go in and say, okay, well, if you're using some alternator that I've never heard of, that I don't really know if it's going to be rated, I haven't heard a lot about it, I'm going to have to overrate or over tell them what they need battery-wise. So encouraging a good alternator, because our batteries will eventually run out of capacity. Every battery out there on the market, at the end of the day, will run out of capacity. Without an alternator supplying that amperage, eventually you're going to dump all the energy you have.
I think the last time you came on, Tony, we talked about that. Every alternator gets tested, right? You guys actually put them on a machine.
Yeah, every single one will have that.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, I mean, it got to the point. It got to the point where we have 2 dynos now. So it's I'm thinking about doing a like a race or something to see who can dyno the most.
What is a good question here, Tony? What's the most popular alt you sell, size and model?
Part number B8206 400B. That's a black 1996 to 2004 GM truck, Tahoe, Silverado, Yukon, whatever. That's literally the Big Mac combo number one of alternators because it fits dual brackets, everything.
I think we forget too. I want everybody to know. I experienced it with the Yukon. Grounding the alternators is just as important. I've seen some cars that shows that didn't do any, like, almost looked like it was still factory grounding. Is that very important?
Yeah.
If they're going to run out of there, multiple runs, how important is it to ground the alternators, multiple grounds?
Well, it's important. It's important to the alternator's life because if you think about, I mean, I'm a race car guy. I like fast stuff, stupid horsepower stuff. So if you think about that electricity like a racetrack, like a NASCAR racetrack, instead of a drag strip, that's how you have to see it. So what you do on one side of it, you have to do that to the other side of it. Otherwise, you just create a great way to get there, but you have to take 15 different back roads to get back to the alternator.
Yeah.
So if you run it power and ground both of equal size, straight from the alternator to the battery, positive and negative, there's literally no better install you can do to make the alternator do exactly what it needs to do and live a long, healthy life. If you just put a big fat, if you put a big fat power, one of those blocks that has like 15 zero gauge coming out the top, hanging on the lug, and then you don't do any grounds, we'll see that because if it's really pumping out and you say it's not working, you'll send it to us and we'll look at that rectifier and the ground side will be all nice purple, yellow, and blue, and we know exactly what went wrong. So,
I got a note here. It says you want to talk about a Ford SOHC 4.6, 5.4, 6.8 mod motor 400 alternator.
Yep, we can do that.
Pull those pictures up. What is? There's a note to bring that up. Can you get into why?
Okay, so that right there, that's for something. Well, in 2002, brand new, and that was my race car for the longest time. But what you'll see on this is we've never done a billet alternator for the 4.6 and 5.4 modular guys. Pretty gutless. They don't have a lot of horsepower. That's fine. And if you look real close in that picture in the top left, you might see some red and blue. That's the hidden nitrous line in it. It may be in a different picture, but it's coming off the fuel rack.
But I want everybody to know too. I think I don't mean to cut you off, but people always ask. That's an inexpensive upgrade. One alternator, replace the factory to produce. Start getting past that and higher in the amperage. You need to upgrade the alternator. They go hand in hand. Let me ask this because I know this is a question that comes up on our side, Tony and Shawn. You could jump in too. Is there a particular alternator that you need to do when you're running lithium, or is it an alternator is an alternator no matter if it's AGM or lithium?
Yeah. But first, we don't have an alternator for that Dodge truck you got?
2007 on that one, no.
Really?
Yeah. I looked up on the
site. Man, we got that.
Oh, man. I would have. I would have waited.
You probably went to Dodge instead of Ram.
Might have. And what happened was I have two excess power AGMs under the hood because it's a diesel, right? And the alternator just went. Yeah. And I'm like, well, if I got to change the alternator, I have a system in there, but nothing that needs anything. But I said, if I'm going to pay $800, I just would have bought a Mechman. But yeah, I went on there. I probably should have pursued it even more. But that just tells everyone here's a perfect situation. If you don't find it on our website and you're having a hard time finding it on Mechman's site, go ahead and call in at 737 Big Jeff. Have my team look it up. We have direct connection with people like Shawn and Tony all day long. And the reps we have are not car audio geniuses, and not even that, they're not going to memorize 4,000 items. So they are constantly talking with the manufacturers. So when you're looking for something, I'm seeing a bunch of comments come up, no alternator for this, call in. We'll take the time to do it. Me, truck sitting there, I just need to get it done. Why I didn't push more time. And two, I have just a basic upgrade in the system. But learning lesson here, I would have just bought the Mechman, or I might even have it in stock, which would really piss me off, Tony, if it's sitting here, right? That would really be, man. And the guy at Dodge is like, he knows the company. He's like, do you want to bring us an alternator, or do you want us to order one? And I'm probably pissed off on myself. Okay, let's get past.
Yeah, we got that stuff on lock, man.
Diesel stuff,
we got it.
Right, I was thinking, why would he not have a 2007? It's a pretty common truck, man.
Oh yeah.
Stupid.
I will say, and to get not to get into too much detail about it, you know, lithiums like ours, especially the Titan series, they have such low resistance and they can handle so much amperage so fast that it's really going to test your alternator. And the way your alternator is built, if you put our Titanates in there, and you bought, again, I hate to keep keying on an eBay, but I'm just talking about a subpar product compared to a Mechman, a quality alternator. That's going to stress that poor thing out. If you're going to go lithium, if you're going to want a high-performing audio setup, if you're going to expect the best out of your setup, you've got to go with a quality alternator. It's just like quality components for everything else. You've got to go quality, or I'm going to tell you what, my battery is going to beat the snot out of your alternator. It's going to happen.
Let me tell everybody, when I decided that the company needed an alternator brand, there's a ton of different brands out there. The biggest thing I can say personally, when people ask me what's good, what's not, all I can tell them is, hey, for the price, what you want to spend and the warranty, pick it out that way. And then I tell them, here's my return rate. And being that we sell so much product, I can give a fair recommendation on return rate. And I can tell you, we have not sent back one Mechman alternator, literally. We haven't sold thousands of them, but we sold several hundred, probably up or in the higher several hundred, and not one defect out of the box and not one defect from install. That tells you what goes into building these and that they test them before they go out. So when people ask and they bring up other names, and we're not going to do that, I have nothing bad to say about them. What I have to say is Mechman, every alternator we have purchased and sold has been passed with flying colors. That right there is how I can explain the quality of a brand. It's the same thing with excess power batteries. We have not had any factory type defects. It's usually been swollen batteries or corrosion, and that is generally from the user. Batteries just don't swell on their own. Corrosion, if not treated properly, I don't care what the battery is, there's ways to maintenance it. So I want everybody to keep that in mind. Well, I got this comment up. Dickerson Audio Design says, I'm looking for a bracket for a 2000. Okay, Mechman is not known for brackets. There's plenty of companies out there that manufacture.
But we have that one.
Oh, you do?
We have that one. Yeah. I put it on the website about 3 weeks ago, I think.
Okay, so Mr. Dickerson, I'm not sure if you are a wholesale account or not with us, but hit up the team tomorrow, either the retail side or the wholesale side. We get you taken care of. Let's do this because we're going to be giving away. We'll get one more question. Then I want to go ahead and pick a winner for the first UC31. Shawn and Tony are two seasoned expert. I sense some ass kissing here. In this industry, Shawn. Man, we're fortunate to have them on our team. You know what, guys? Thank you. One, this podcast was designed for all types of audio. I've had DJs on here. I've had social media experts from different manufacturers. I've had techs, salesmen. Anything related to sound, we've had them on here, and everybody we've had on here has been a ton of information. And that's what the podcast is about. The normal everyday people in here, and thank you all for chiming in, don't get to talk to people like this on a regular basis. Some of y'all don't even know who they are at the time. And that's why, Shawn, I think this is your third time on the podcast. You were on night one, and we brought you back. And again, which is great. Tony, it's your second time because there's always so much to learn, and you can only fit so much in an hour. So thank you for that comment. Let's do this. Tony, or Shawn, actually, we're going to give away the first UC31. My team's going to put up the winner, and I'll let you announce the winner. It's already too late. You were supposed to comment the word Mechman, but we are giving away another one. Let's go ahead and pick out a winner.
Congratulations, Joshua Clare.
Congratulations. Shawn, in a small 30-second minute clip, can you explain what the UC31 is and how it works?
So the UC31 is a smart capacitor bank that's meant to be ran with other AGM batteries, lithium batteries, in a stock or high output alternator charging system like a quality product like Mechman. It's meant to be able to use on a Bluetooth setting to see your voltage outside the vehicle, and it has a smart monitoring system that shuts the voltage off to the terminals when disconnected. So you can literally take a wrench to the top of the battery terminals after taking positive, negative off and go across it. So it kind of has an Intel feature and a board inside of it. The fact that it's the price that it is shouldn't even be there.
No, for the price, it is one thing that you can add in. Now, everybody understand you can't just take a UC31 by itself. You could start the car technically, but it's not made. It will discharge within milliseconds. It is made to go in conjunction with another battery. It doesn't matter what kind, and they work together. We're going to give away another one tonight. You can start commenting. The word to comment next will be power, 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 to win the next UC31 B stock. Let's do this. Let's take a short video break. We have another video for Tony here, and then we'll be right back with my man Shawn Mayo and Tony Bolton. We'll be right back. So, everybody knows we are a Mechman authorized online seller and distributor. So, you dealers, we have them. Mechman is made in the USA, top notch. You can get them as a regular type of gray, and then there is 20 plus custom colors. We have those, and if it's not in stock, we get it made and ship it to you as quick as possible. Big shout out to Mechman. We have 4 of these bad boys running in the Yukon, and I can't tell you how many we've sold in just a short amount of time. What we're going to do right now, guys, we have time. If y'all have questions for him, start putting them in the chat. We'll try to pick up as many as we can. Shawn, real quick, I want to bring up, because these kind of go hand in hand. Excess Power also has a new product coming out. I'm going to pull it up on the screen if you want to give us a BIOS on this thing. It's pretty wicked looking.
Yeah. So yeah. I brought one with me today. I brought the prototype that I've been testing. We expect these in less than 2 weeks. We call it the X-Max 90. Only certain, this is an important part, so make sure to listen, make sure to record it. This is states that will have these. This is not something you can call up a random dealer and buy. This is an opportunity that certain distributors took to offer you a high quality product, a high amp hour product, and a crazy high wattage amount for a small size, and giving it to you for the best possible price. This is where you go.
Now, everybody, I'm seeing the comments. Yeah, Restream is having some issues. We're all at different locations. It has nothing to do with us personally. So sorry about that. Nothing we could do. But this video will be uploaded. Shawn, can we make Shawn full screen, guys?
Wow. Shawn's a beast.
Taylor, can you make him full screen? There you go.
So this is the first look at one. This has not been released ever, so you can make sure to check this out. So all the cells have our logos on the side, has a little bit of information about the amp hour. It's got the excess power.
What was the charging voltage you said on this?
14.8 below. So your stock charging voltage, guys, the vehicles that are, PCM controlled, like I'm sure, Tony's fully aware of, things like this, like that are below 14.7, 14.8. The stock charging level, guys, or even high output alternators that are at 14.4. This is perfect. Yep. So this is how it'll come. It's not heavy, as you can tell.
Now, Tony, I don't know if you read the specs. They're saying 400 amp. They could still get into a regular type alternator, right? just
Well, sure.
300 or whatever. Shawn, looks like there's a ton of busing on there too.
Correct. So you've got 4 1-aught to 1-aught connections for positive and negative on this. And I just put the studs on because I'm trying to break this one, and I'm having a hard time trying to break it. So I've got studs on both sides. I mean, I've done some really, really abusive things that I won't discuss for warranty purposes. I've got some really abusive things I've done to this one so far, and I can tell you this. I'm excited to see it released. The distributors such as Big Jeff, who'll be the first one to get them, by the way, the first opportunity to get them. So if you want to get one ordered, you're speaking to the people that'll have them first. So something like this is important because you can't get them everywhere. So don't try.
You know what I'd like to do, and we can talk about. I'm not going to guarantee to everybody. I'm going to talk to them tomorrow. Maybe we could put together a really big giveaway. They would have to do multiple steps, like something with excess power, something with Mechman. Maybe we can do a Mechman alternator and battery combo. We'll talk about it. It's not a guarantee, but we're going to try to put something together. Joshua Clare says, Big Jeff, this is hard because I never win anything, but I already have a UC31. If you want, I'm completely okay with you guys wanting to give it away to someone else.
Wow.
That's Josh. What I'm gonna do for you, bud? Contact Allie tomorrow here at 737 Big Jeff. We're gonna give you a credit towards on your account to purchase anything you want or use it towards on our website. Really appreciate that. If my team, while we're talking, wants to pick another winner for that one, let's go ahead and get that ready. And big shout out to him, man, for doing that. He didn't have to. He could have just accepted it, sold it off, or whatever. That's what the basic community should be like. And that's a big thing about Tony at Mechman or even Shawn Excess Power. There's so many companies out there that if you don't buy from them or not a part of their clique, they will talk shit about you. They will ban you. They will cut you off. I can tell you, my company, even when we had all that drama, we still left people up there unless it got out of hand. Excess Power is shown to stay completely out of that. And I've never heard of Mechman taking after or going after anybody. But I have seen personally other companies literally tell customers not to come over to our booth. That was another alternator company for no reason at all, telling people not to even come get free stuff. That right there alone, besides the quality of Excess Power, Sundown Audio, and Mechman, should be why you want to buy that product. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
And just real quick though, just because I'm not out there doing that or Mechman's not out there doing that, if we don't get attacked, then we don't attack back. But don't be scared or start crying if I'm that guy that claps back on you. Because that's my name, that's my company, that's who I work for, and don't think that you won't get a clap back if you come at it sideways like that. It'll happen.
And something we brought up too that's important. I know this is kind of a sidebar, but something important that I've talked about with distributors, and you mentioned returns. I was going to bring it up before the commercial, but it's important to know. There's certain companies out there that just don't have the manpower. They have a pretty site, but once you get behind the site, there's nothing back there. There's 2-3 people with a keyboard and a bunch of prepaid labels. There's companies like Jeff who have a full customer service team who puts you in the right alternator. They give you the right information to go with the batteries, and that prevents you from having to restock fee, reorder, get a wrong warranty, and that cuts down on warranties, that cuts down on replacements and open box items. And I know Tony will agree with me, a lot of that is having an experienced staff that you can call and say, hey, like I've dealt with most of the Big Jeff crew, Aaliyah, all of them. Like I said, Catherine, I've dealt with most of them, and they're so kind, so friendly, they're easy to deal with, and they don't have the answer, they're going to find it out for you. And it's real easy to have a great customer experience when they're on the phone with you. And I don't see that as much anymore. I don't get a lot of, I called somebody, they gave me all the information I needed. They set me up a combo. They told me what I needed and got it done. I don't hear that as much anymore. And that's one of the main things I like about a company like this. And that's why I'm happy that X-Max and Mechman products are sold at a unison like this. It's just stuff like that.
Well, that's what I said. The combination of good product, right? Low return rates, if any. And then the customer service. That's why, manufacturers like you all and a company like mine has gotten where they've gotten. Okay. It's crazy because, when Facebook pops up like 3 years ago, 5 years ago type stuff, it blows my mind even that we're just going into our 6th year. And then looking back when we even started with you, Shawn, and Tony started with you and reached out like, hey, I want an alternator. It's just a good combination to have that support. Now, don't get me wrong. I've told some people to go, kick rocks because you get what you receive and the customer isn't always right. Okay. But when you deal with a company respectfully, listen to what they're saying, do the diagnostics, go through those stages, they're going to take care of you. Okay. And I can tell you, Excess Power, who's also Sundown Audio and Full Tilt Wire, and Tony at Mechman, I've never had a customer complain about that service. And like Shawn said, we will get the answers for you. We want you to shop at bigjeffaudio.com. My team, did you pick out a replacement winner? If so, put it up. And Tony, if you want to this time call out the winner for the first giveaway.
Cool. I got it.
Oh, shoot.
That's great.
Where is it?
Right there on your screen.
Straight clipping. Oh my gosh.
Congratulations. You are a winner of the UC31B stock. Make sure to hit up 737 Big Jeff. If you haven't done it already, I need you to comment the word power. We are giving away still another one. Big shout out to our first winner, Josh, for being that type of guy, man, in the community. Hit my staff up. We will give you a credit for the website. Let me look through. Let's get some questions up here. Let me scroll through. Customer service should be the backbone. Yes. Been a few years. Tony got me. Oh, did I miss one? Go ahead, put it back up. JT's Garage, great guy. Been a few years. Tony's got me straight. Don't know me from Adam. I think what he's saying is you don't have to be known. You just have to be a customer, and they're going to treat you all the same. Let's see. We got any more questions? Shawn, when choosing a battery bank for my build, what are the things you factor in to have enough power and reserve? Great question. Great question.
So and again, I hate to keep bringing it back, but because he's on the podcast. So the important thing is that alternator is so important because, like, for example, I'm going to use a total loss scenario that is mostly boats. Guys that go out there and play all day on music and they have no real alternator amperage. So pretty much they're in a total loss scenario until the batteries are dead. You got to plan those setups differently than you do a car with 370s, for example. And if somebody calls and says, hey, I'm just using an example here. I'm running 2 Salt 8Ks and I have a single 320 Mechman. I've got wiring that's all good. This, I want the best setup I can. I'm charging a 14 for. What can you do for me? Tell me what I need. I'm going to say, okay, well, from experience, this is why you buy from people who have experience, because you and I both know that the Salt 8K does 8K. Wink. So it's 8K. So I'm going to rate it for 20,000 watts for 2 of them. So I'm immediately going to know that we need 20,000, 25,000 watts. And let's just use a version like the X-Max, for example. I'm going to say, okay, well, 1 potentially could do it, but let's go ahead and go to 2. You only have so much input amperage. So eventually, all my batteries are energy storage devices. They are a holder of energy until there's nothing left. They're a tank of water that you're constantly pulling from, and eventually there'll be none left. So the higher amp hour, the more battery we add, the better performance will be. But you still need something like a 320 Mechman or something like that to bring that feed of power into it to kind of make the whole setup go. So it's kind of a difficult one. Our Titan products have that alternator amperage chart in there that say for 100 amps, you can get this much wattage. For 200 amps, you get this much wattage. And we mean that based on accurate products, not a $99 320 special that they don't answer the phone when you call. It's a true blue 320 Mechman. That's a 3.5 alternator. That's what we say. If I call Tony and say, hey, he bought it from us, I'm going to know that's a 320. That's not a 320. That helps.
Right. Yep. We're going to get to this question, even though he's talking about headway. Nothing against that. We all know Excess Power deals in LiPo 4 and LTO. Correct, Shawn? What is the type of cells going in this new 90 amp battery?
So these are LFP. So the reason we were able to offer the 90 amp hour product under $1,000 retail point shipped was because we were able to use the LFP product. Now, we've used LFP for years and years. It's a very common chemistry. The cells are improved. The chemistry's just been refined over time like anything else, but it still is a very quality product. you get more amp power, and you see LFP in more applications in commercial and industrial because of the cost per amp hour, where LTO generally has, like the Titan, for example, you generally have a higher cost per amp hour, if that makes any sense. So you get a high performing product for a little bit cheaper of a cost with something like the X-Max.
Right. We're already seeing, I'm going to get to this question, but I was already, High Five Vector, big shout out. He did a test on the BJ22 battery and compared it to an AGM, and it was a great apples to apples in a sense, showing you the discharge and the amperage. But you get the comments on there. Oh, I can get battery that much cheaper. Understand a lot of these batteries on Amazon are deep cycle lithium. And in the car audio world, that's not what you're looking for. You're not looking to spread it out long. You're looking for that hard hit. And Shawn, am I explaining it the proper way here? Because you can get pretty cheap lithium batteries on Amazon, no name, for very cheap. But if you read into it, it's more of a deep cycle battery.
So the term deep cycle is kind of like a trigger word for me. Deep cycle in that way, how they're using it, is basically saying that we're using a cell that doesn't have a lot of output discharge or input recharge capability. It's a high capacity, low discharge cell. So they're pretty much just finding a cheaper cost cell with a higher amp hour. And that's why in amp hour means a lot in the AGM days. And amp hour has been a term used for 50 plus years to discuss capacity among lead acid derivative products. But with lithium, it isn't all about amp hour. I know that's confusing, and that's why we created the 90 to show you, hey, we can make a higher amp hour version, but that's not what it's necessarily about. There's recharge and discharge characteristics that make up these things. For example, if you get 100 amp hour lithium off Amazon, let's just say a deep cycle 100 amp hour lithium from somebody's garage, and they posted it up on Facebook, and you got it for $300, and it takes 3.5 days to recharge, and it lasts 6 months, and you void the warranty. You go to put over 100 watts to it.
Right.
I don't want to hear a comparison, because if we're looking at that, then you've already made your decision. You're not willing to listen to the customer service reps who are telling you these differences and why this alternator is better or this battery is better. And unfortunately, you're gonna buy it twice. You're gonna buy that battery. You're gonna hate it. You're gonna go through a horrible experience. You're gonna come back. You're gonna buy ours, or you're gonna buy a Big Jeff battery. Just end the circle now and start off the better product.
Right. Tony, I got a question after this one. He says, can you speak on the prefab wire harness? What is he talking about?
We have a few of those, like the ones we sell on the website. Not really sure. We include harnesses, the alternators that need a harness or an adapter or whatever. We always include those with the alternator. They're epoxied. We build the harnesses there. We epoxy them, assemble them. We 3D print some of the forward adapters and whatnot. So,
my question, and maybe you could talk about first. We've been selling a lot of these P harnesses. Can you explain what they do? Those are the ones that they could buy to change, I guess, the voltage. Correct?
I love those.
Yeah, it's nothing. It's nothing new. The diodes and the little sense leads and whatnot. That's been around forever. I just thought it would be nice to have something that's ready to go, fairly cheap for what it is, easy to install.
That plug though changes the volt by what, a half a volt each one?
Yeah. It's just you can go half volt increments, and I was kind of leery about putting some of those on there because you get so many people that are just numbers chasing, and they don't need to be numbers chasing. I'm at 14.8. God, I need to be at 15.0. Like, why? Are you going to a competition where 0.2 volts is going to kick you out of first place? Well,
and there was a comment in here, and I'm going to speak to that. There was a comment here that says that basically he was saying that the alternator is to maintain the battery, right? So
correct.
That 0.5 volt really wouldn't matter out of the alternator, should be mattering out of the battery. But Shawn, real quick question. It's weird when the 35s are here, people don't want them. When they're not here, people want them.
Yeah.
Is there plans for the 35s coming back in first?
So real quick, the voltage thing, Tony, you're completely correct. The voltage thing, I forget you told me this a long time ago, but it's kind of stuck with me, is that voltage is the illusion of capacity.
Yep.
You get tricked into thinking higher voltage is higher capacity when it's not that way. But anyway, I couldn't help but let that go. So the 35 amp hour I expect within about a month, maybe a little bit less, to be honest. But to be honest, like I said, as long as you're running separate balancers, it's no different than running two different amp hour AGM batteries. They have the same type of charge profiles. You can run 35s and 40s as two separate balanced batteries. So you don't have to wait unless you just want to build them in the same bus bars. But we should have them in a little bit less than a month, I believe. And of course, the Jeff crew's going to have them. So
Jimmy Dean, and this is the comment I was looking for. Alternators are not actually made to charge batteries; they're made to maintain battery voltage and run accessories. Is that a good way to?
10,000% accurate, right there. That is the job. The one thing you can do to make an alternator meet death immediately is to hook that alternator up, a 400 amp alternator, to a dead battery, dead lead acid, dead AGM, dead anything, and expect 400, 200 amps of grunt to get forced down the throat of that poor battery. Right. And it's just a bottleneck, and it'll go into the alternator. You'll blow every freaking diode in it. The regulator will probably shut off.
If people are doing cells, a lot of times they know they have a bad cell. We just put a new item up for sale. We brought them in from Heltech, which is an LCD screen that will show you the voltage per cell. One LCD screen to do up to 24 cells. I just ran into this experience with the new test bench. Every time I was going to charge the LTOs, the power supplies were snapping. Found out I have a bad cell, and if I would have had that LCD screen, which we're selling now, I would know which cell is not sitting at the right voltage. Straight clipping, can I just run a wire from my alt directly to my amp? No batteries. I guess he's making a joke.
Yeah, that was on one of those forums where, I've been doing this for 20 years and no problem.
Battery bypass. I don't think they meant that type of bypass, right?
I don't think that's what they mean by battery delete. But
battery delete. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay.
What's funny is in that same situation as Mechman, it's like, we're talking about the alternator. It's like when I first had my Tahoe, I had an 03 Tahoe, and I had a Mechman bracket at the time, and I had 370s. They were the Mechman, just the beautiful black gloss colored ones. This has probably been Mechman Elites, I think is what they were called then. They were, like I said, it's probably 5 to 7 years ago. And I had 25 banks of caps that had drained down to 5 volts. And being not really as knowledgeable as I am now, I decided that I would jump that off and I would start those poor alternators at 6, 7 volts. And those poor alternators just screamed and cried for 20 minutes. And I thought I had blown my truck up because it was smoking everywhere. The billet flew off. And I remember texting Matt at Mechman going, "Matt, I broke something really bad." He goes, "What'd you do?" And I looked in there and I was at 11.2. And he goes, "Turn that truck off right now." And I was like, okay, so I did. And that's the great thing. It's like you put them in 100% duty cycle. The poor alternators can't. I mean, there's just so much difficulty for that alternator. And caps and batteries is not good for those either. Your alternator, just because you buy an alternator doesn't mean you don't need a charger. You need both.
Right. Everybody, we try to keep this thing to an hour. We could be talking all night. Let's go ahead and pick the winner for the second UC31. You were to comment the word power. My team, go ahead and pull up the winner for that. Congratulations, Angela Carner. Congratulations. You will get to experience a UC31 in your system. Contact 737 Big Jeff. We're about to also announce the winner for the Big Jeff battery giveaway. A couple things before we do that. Next episode is next Tuesday, February 6th. We have Rob, I don't want to say his last name wrong, Wimpy from Hertz Audio on. We'll be talking about that brand. If you want somebody on the podcast or you want to be on the podcast, reach out to us. Send us an email at podcast@bigjeffaudio.com. We will do everything in our power to get them on. It is hard. Sometimes people don't have time or they just don't want to be on. If you want to get a shout out on our social media platform, we're looking for pictures and videos of your vehicle, car shows that you might have went to. Then this is great for people that can't go. Go ahead and there's a spot on our on our website that you can actually upload your pictures. And there's also an email called shoutout@bigjeffaudio.com. Let us shout you out. If you haven't done so, make sure you like this. And if you haven't subscribed and you're new tonight, hit that subscribe button. Please go check out Mechman's new Facebook group, which is Team Mechman. And then comment on there once you get in there, Big Jeff Podcast, and he will put you in for a giveaway. Let's go ahead and get ready. Shawn, we got the Big Jeff batteries in. We were doing a giveaway. We've gotten some out. We've already had some on YouTube testing. Nothing but great results. These are very small, light, powerful 22 amp batteries, under $400. We're going to give one away right now. We had a giveaway. People had to basically comment, like, and then share it somewhere in the cardio world. And we have a winner. Tonight's winner for the Big Jeff 22 amp battery is RJ Dana. Congratulations. We actually he posted in a few cardio groups. We do verify that he was liked and subscribed and left a comment. You get yourself a Big Jeff audio battery. Congratulations. Thank you for the support. Tony, it's been a pleasure. Thank you. I wish we would have more time. Everybody gets real testy after about an hour. Shawn, thank you for coming back on and co-hosting. Tony, once the other brackets are shipping, let us know so we can reconvene and go over that stuff for sure. Shawn, thank you for bringing that prototype so everybody can see what it actually looks like, not just in pictures. That's impressive. Those should be available approximately when, Shawn?
I'd say 2 weeks, and that's a pretty estimated 2 weeks.
You can go to bigjeffaudio.com. They are up there, and you can pre-order now. Get in line to get them, and we will ship them out as soon as they land. If you go on our website, you could probably just search 90AH or go down in the cardio tab to batteries, and then there's lithium, and you can find it there. Everybody that chimed in tonight, great night. Thank you so much for another podcast in the history. This was number 35. Listen, everybody, this industry should be more about brotherhood, fellow help. If you're involved in a group or a podcast or whatever, and there's negativity or something bad to say about somebody, do you really want to be involved in that? I think that's what makes the industry bad, that we see so much of that. And for new people that are learning, these are, you're learning as a hobby. Some people actually do this professionally. Enjoy it. Don't sell the house for it. Don't believe everything you read. Actually, we just put the link up there. You can click that for the 90 amp X-Max. You can click that and grab one. Go with companies and support companies that are going to support you back. And that is definitely Mechman, Excess Power, and Sundown for sure. Listen, thank you, everybody, for another night. It is 8:35. We went over, so I'm not going to keep you any longer. Thank you, Shawn. Thank you, Tony. Let's go ahead and take this out.
In the bag, yeah, that's a wrap. Big sound is the best, and it ain't no cap. Hit the website if you need that merch. It's Big Jeff Audio and hit the search. I know you had fun, yeah, you gotta admit it. That boy Big Jeff took his thing and he did it. Always a win, yeah, never a L. Did you smash the like, subscribe, and hit the bell? Share it on your socials, put it on blast. We'll be back next week with another podcast. Big sound in the house, like no other. Deviant and Big Jeff, the Basshead Brothers.